AITA for telling my wife I would rather her sister live in our house than her? I, 35M, and my wife, 35F, have been married for 6 years. Some background: 7 months ago my wife gave birth to our daughter, I'll call her Sadie. Ever since my wife gave birth she has been getting increasingly rude and refuses to do any work around the house and says she's still healing from giving birth, even though she always goes out with her friends. 3 months ago my wife's stepsister Hannah, 25F, called my wife and asked her if she could temporarily move in with us. She lived in a crappy apartment building and tenants recently had to leave due to the unsafe conditions. Hannah didn't have enough to get another place right away, hence her asking. My wife seemed very eager to let Hannah move in despite always claiming they never get along. They came to the agreement that she would help with Sadie in exchange for staying with us rent-free so she could save up for a deposit on a proper apartment. Everything was fine at first. Hannah has ADHD and took a week to adjust to living with us. During that week she did all the chores my wife has been neglecting without us asking her to. I tried to tell her she didn't have to do all of them, but my wife waved me off and said Hannah's ADHD makes her want to do it. Hannah backed her up. After she cleaned something my wife would thank Hannah a lot. I thanked her as well, but my wife did it constantly, which seemed strange to me. My wife dismissed my questions and said it was normal to do with people with ADHD. Since then my wife has pushed all childcare and any household chores I don't do onto Hannah. She has also been increasingly rude to Hannah and yelling at her if she makes a mistake on the first try of doing something. I tried to intervene when I was at home, but my wife would accuse me of wanting to let Hannah lay around the house being lazy because she was retard. She and I got into a huge fight about her using that word to describe Hannah and didn't speak for a few days. My breaking point came when I found out my wife had been making Hannah pay her rent and buy baby supplies. I pay all the bills and the money Hannah had been giving my wife was not going towards the house. My wife was using it to go out with her friends. My wife also made Hannah pay for food. I usually give my wife the money for food and she bought snacks for herself with Hannah's contribution. I had another fight with my wife where she said Hannah was lazy and if she didn't like her rules then Hannah could sleep on the street and get out of her house. That's when I told my wife it's my house, as she doesn't pay any bills and at this point doesn't do anything but be as lazy as she accuses Hannah of being. I would rather live with Hannah. My wife got quiet and has been refusing to talk to me or Hannah for the past few days, and I'm starting to think I crossed a line. AITA? Edit to add, I have no romantic/sexual feelings for Hannah. Even if I did, Hannah is a lesbian, and even if she weren't I would not take advantage of her by making a move on her while she's dependent on me for housing. Please stop with the comments suggesting I marry Hannah. Edit 2, she was cleared for PPD a few months ago, but due to comments I will discuss having her screened again.